Hi, everybody. I'm Deanna Tack. This is Ethics, Leadership, and Coaching, California Baptist University, October 23rd, 2018. Why did I want to be a coach? Well, this is young me at 16 years old. And at that time, I loved running. It was everything to me. And I didn't have very strong coach role models. They were male. They didn't really believe too much in me or much of anybody. And so a lot of the other athletes on the team let me be their coach, and I learned a lot that way. Mostly that it was something that I could do. I was pretty good at it. I discovered that I want to be a servant leader because Jesus is a servant leader. Definition of a servant leader is a people-centered approach to leadership that emphasizes the interaction between leader, follower, and underscores how leaders can be attentive to the needs of followers, show concern for followers, and nurture and emphasize the needs of their followers. So the fact of the matter is that as a leader, I need to be concerned with what the needs of my followers, my athletes are, and so that I can best serve what they need. Effective strategies: you need to listen to your athletes, not just talk. Create a clear vision for your athletes and foster a healthy competitive atmosphere. There's one soccer coach named Anson Dorrance, and he always had about 12 different competitions going on between his athletes, and that created a great atmosphere. Potential ethical issues: athletes will make mistakes. I need to be ready for that. I need to be able to deal with administration and parents and exhibit a high level of morality myself, and being a female in a male-dominated world. Application of strategies to the field of coaching. Why listen? Well, I can't serve my athletes if I don't know what their needs are. I need to be able to connect with my athletes, and this helps me to connect. It helps with the emotional health of the team. And remember that heart trumps talent only every time. And so heart becomes a very important issue. In the Facing the Giants clip, the movie Facing the Giants, this particular coach has an athlete on his football team, Brock, who is very talented, but not a great leader. He's lazy. And so as grows the leader, so goes the group. And so the coach wanted to show him that he wasn't giving everything he had. And so he showed him in a way that allowed him to connect and believe in himself. And that was very, very important. A good coach casts a clear vision. Once you have a clear purpose that tells you who you are, you need to develop a picture of the future so that everyone knows where you're going. And that's Ken Blanchard. So I need to constantly put the vision in front of my athletes. What do I want from them? Am I looking for just wins? Am I looking for high morality? Am I looking for effort? What am I looking for? And it's my job to make sure that that's clear to my athletes and that I keep putting it out there so that that's what they're working toward. My vision is a team with high moral standards, and that's what I'm working to achieve. I think that Coach Wooden was one of the best. He said he was concerned with the betterment of others. That was in his own words, and that's something that I endeavor to do as well. Developing a team spirit is so important. The athlete needs to not just be willing to do the drill, they need to be eager to do the drill. Having that spirit of eagerness is going to allow the drill to actually work, to actually allow the athlete to change the way that they do things. And it helps them keep an open mind. Southwest Airlines said that their executives focus on two things that can also be applied to a team. They need to make sure that they invest in the people on their team, and that they say that if you treat people with love and respect, that great things happen. And I believe that also. In this clip from Miracle, Coach Herb from the 1980 hockey Olympic team, he allowed for his athletes to kind of identify with being part of the Olympic team. And so they were still identifying with their past, the colleges that they played for, the rivalries that they had, and he was trying to get them unified. And in the end, he actually gets them to say that they're part of the USA Olympic team and not just part of their college team. So that was a huge success. That's very important. Application of athletics to challenges in coaching. Kids will come from multiple backgrounds, divorces and all kinds of poverty. Who knows what they've come from, or what coaching styles they've had in the past. Coaches have a great deal of influence on the youth. So it's really important that we have a great example. Remember that shame crushes people. So shame is never an effective coaching strategy. This particular coach in this clip is pointing a finger and yelling at these young athletes, and I have never found that method works. Building athletes up is the best. Then we need to have a proper crisis management plan when things aren't going well. Dealing with administration and parents, parental behavior, you can see in this clip, there's a brawl happening. These parents are at a youth soccer game and they just get a little too into it after a bad ref call and go a little over the top. So it's very, very important that we learn how to diffuse parental behavior and that we expect it. One of the best ways to do is just let them listen, let them talk themselves out. The other way is to not lose my temper, to act the way I would want them to act. Administrative issues are also a problem. They could be due to budget cuts, or maybe I'm not winning as much as they want and they've forgotten what my vision is for high moral standards. Those kinds of things. Morality and coaching ethics. I wanted my players to become men of integrity, and when we have integrity, we're not going to do anything that would be demeaning to anybody else, either on or off the court, said John Wooden, greatest coach that ever lived. And our greatest example of this is Jesus. We need to lead with integrity just like he did. How is this achieved? Well, we have some great biblical examples. The rich young ruler who refused to give up his status to follow Jesus is somebody that we don't want to emulate. I never want to be so consumed with winning that I forget what my goal is. Daniel is another great example. He made sure that he kept his moral base despite what the pressures were outside. He was definitely a man under fire, literally, and yet he kept his high moral standards, and that's what I want to do. Sexism in coaching. It shows that there were 58.2% of female coaches at the beginning of Title IX, and the lowest point was 42.2% in 2006. So just because they're women's teams doesn't mean they're women coaches. And a lot of that, according to Stark, has been their own fault, because a lot of them have been harsh and demanding, and those are just not attractive traits in any coach. And I think women, our compassion is our strength, not necessarily a weakness. In conclusion, one of my favorite movies is Forever Strong, and in this clip, this coach takes on a juvenile delinquent athlete, and he's just been basically loving on him and listening to him and not giving up on him. And the athlete finally comes to himself and becomes a leader on the team because of it. And nobody said it was easy, but it's very, very, very important for us to do in everything. I shall endeavor to serve, love, and lead. That's my goal. And it's the way Jesus did it, and I shall endeavor to do the same. Thank you so much for listening.